This is the final part of the presentation on how to set up the Word document when preparing financial statements on Microsoft Word.
You've got the structure, now it's a matter of just pasting in the information as you go along. Let me see, I'll just show you. I'll paste a couple so you can see. So I don't need this anymore. I'm not going to move this into the header and then hide it, or maybe I just do it for this one, but I'm not going to do it for all of them because it doesn't actually add much value to the presentation here. So I copied and pasted that there. Back here, get rid of this little space here, and I'm going to use my old hide one here. Okay, I've hidden it here. I'm not actually put it as a bookmark. Okay, so that'll be sufficient for me for this particular presentation. Okay, so I just showed you the technique of how you can go about setting up a template. Okay, so in the template, I would actually recommend this be a cross-reference to the header there, so therefore that will save you time. Okay, so maybe I'll just run through that again quickly so that as a refresher, so that I normally keep a few spaces so that we make sure we get the whole thing. I make sure that the paragraph marker does not get captured in that. So press another way to make sure the paragraph marker doesn't get captured is, I think you press Control and Shift, and you can just use the arrow keys to come exactly to where you want it. Okay, going to insert bookmarks, and I'll say statement of comprehensive income. I will call that P&L, maybe something simple, P&L, and I'm going to just add that. I'm going to come here to where I've hidden that here, and I'm going to put a cross-reference, a bookmark, and I'm going to just double click on P&L here, or just say insert. I got it in there. So let me see here. I think there's some spaces which I don't need here. Just get rid of that, and let me just get it back to normal so I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, so that's the word field, so I just need to just delete it from here, and I just need to give this the hide look or the style. If I update this from here, now you can see update entire table, and there you go. It's still there. It's just, it is showing in the table of contents while it's actually here as well. Okay, so now I need to put in the statement. So like I said, it's just see, it's much more easier. You can actually see, and so you don't accidentally overwrite it. So that's how you should do it. Okay, now I need to just copy in from my previous template. If I can get to it here, that one. I'm just going to scroll down. I need the P&L. I can just probably go here and just go into, I'm going to P&L. I'm not going to do the director's declaration. I guess that's a lot of just copying stuff. But I need here for the year ended. I need that one. I need that to be there. So let's just do that. So I need to get into the document. So if I come here and put that into the header here, if I say I don't want that to copy, I don't want that for the year ended to be copied into the index, so I'm just going to put here for the year ended. You could make this also a word field, because we do have, I have set up a word field in the one which I'm doing. Do I have it open here? No, it has shut itself down. Let me see. Data, the structure. Well, let's open this one. Okay, so I do have a word field for which, whether it says whether it's a year or whether it's a period. You can just use that as well. It's a year or a period, so you can automate that as well. Okay, that's something you deal with often, but generally I find that most statements I either tend to be for a financial year, but if it's not the case for you, but you can change it there as well. Alright, for the year ended, and I needed to get the year end date, which is this. Copy that, going to paste it here. Alright, so might want to make sure that this is all just normal font. So I'm just going to select all of it in normal font. So I just want to make sure that fonts are correct. Now I need the statement. So how you copy the statement and bring it over from your data, I need to get it from here. Alright, so I'm just going to go down to my PNL, which I needed. So right, when you copy it over, you just click into the table and you click this little square here. That selects the entire table. Now that is very important that you select the entire table. Alright, so I'm going to copy here and I'm going to go back to my document which I'm working on, and I'm going to put Control V and paste it. Now I'm going to show you one more technique which is very important when preparing your financial statements using EasyFS Financials. Alright, now, and that is how to break a table or to split a table without breaking the table. What you need to do is, when you need to split a table, say suppose this is a very lengthy table and you needed to sort of split it, but you don't want to break it. If you insert, go in here, now what a lot of people tend to do is they just go in here and they'll just insert a page break. Alright, that's a bad idea. If you insert a page break, it breaks the table. It creates two tables at your insertion point. That causes confusion when you try to update it from EasyFS Financials, as well as it only recognizes the top table as being the table you've broken the link. Alright, so how do you break a table and still maintain it as one table? Maintaining it as one table has other advantages which I'll show you as well. Alright, so suppose this is lengthy, it's coming over to the end of the page. I just needed to get the expenses and stuff onto a new page. Alright, so what you do is you place the cursor at the insertion point. So I just want to break it from there, and then you come to paragraphs, and under paragraphs you have line and page breaks. You use a paragraph page break. That is important. You use a paragraph page break. So I say okay. So when you use a paragraph page break, so as you can see it's broken into the pages, but you can never type sort of anything in here. Okay, anything below this line cannot be typed because there is a page break there. Alright, and the page break is actually sitting on the very first line here. Alright, now I'm just going to show you the advantage I was talking about breaking a table properly. Suppose I highlight these two lines and then I go to table settings or table properties. Alright, what you can do is with these rows you can repeat the rows because the table is still connected. So I say okay. Now if I scroll down, you can see the headings are continuing. That is a huge benefit because it makes more sense to the reader. You can see the header lines and the data below it. So that is the benefit of actually breaking a table of characters. So suppose you've broken a table out and then more information gets put in, or less information gets put in, and now the whole thing can't fit onto the one page and you want to just take away that page break. So how you do that is, if you have put automatic headers, see you can't actually select the automatic headers on the subsequent pages. That is the first line. Also, suppose if I come here and if I'm tabbing through tab, it goes to the first line there. It doesn't select this as being that's coming automatically from the table above. So how you get rid of it, you need to select the first insertion point, which is that's the first table, first point. Okay, then again you go back to paragraph and you can go to the lines and page breaks and then deactivate page break and say okay, it's back at the top. Alright, so that's how you break a table correctly, the correct way to break a table. Okay, now if I go and want to break it again, and if I go back to paragraphs, go to lines and page breaks and activate the page break again, okay, you notice you did not have to put the header footer again. It is already set to the table and it automatically remembered that and brought that down. Okay, so that's how you enter a table. Now I'm not going to bring in all the tables. I don't think that adds much value. What I wanted to show you was another word feature, which was linking to the page numbers. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down here. Okay, and this uses the direct, yeah, you go. Alright, so what I wanted to show you was the automating of this, of these page numbers. Alright, so what I want to say is that the financial statements actually starts from the statement of comprehensive income, or statement of comprehensive income, and it ends after the last note. Okay, so just before I get to that, I'll probably show you how you include in the notes. Okay, so this is also a time-saving task, so I've removed the footer, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to show you another time-saving task here. So I'm going to just delete that. I have remembered to do this, so that's fine. All right, now, yeah. So similarly, you can move this header to the top here, so that it repeats onto all the pages. I'm not going to do that now. I think I've gone through that technique. You know how to do that. I'm just going to go to how you bring your table notes in here. Now, what you do is, like I said, the notes are maintained in. The notes are come through with the word fields here. So these are the notes. I just only need this component. So I could just copy this. Maybe I just copy that like that. Okay. That's one way of doing it, and just pasting that. Or what I normally tend to do is I just copy the whole table like this. Copy. Control C to copy, and I get back to the document where I want to put the notes, and I do Control V. Alright, then what I do is I just highlight the columns here, and I just highlight and say cut that because I want to delete it off. So you need to cut it off to totally delete it. If you press the delete key, it'll just take the data out of that. Likewise, I just highlight that and say cut. So I got rid of the headers, so I'm only left with the note number. Then what I do is I just highlight the column here. Then you need to go to the layout under the tables, and I want to convert table to text. Okay, convert the table to text. Now, I can use the paragraph, and I'm converting it. So you normally use the paragraph breaks here. So I say OK. There you go. So you got your notes in, and you've gotten rid of the table. So that's how you do it quickly. Then what you do is now we've also set the but I should probably show you that as well. So when it comes to the tabs, I set what I would normally like doing is I like to set the standard tab size to 1 centimeter for my documents when I'm preparing financial statements. That's because I want to try and utilize as much of the space on the A4 piece of paper that I can when I'm preparing it. So lesser indents sort of gives a bit more space when you want to put in tables after indenting it with page numbers, or sorry, with note numbering. So I normally set it to 1. The default of the word is 1.27, which is half an inch. I set it to 1 centimeter. The default of word is half an inch rather than a centimeter. My preference is 1 centimeter. I change it. If you like half an inch, then you can stick the half an inch. Alright, so what I do is I've now pasted it here. So I highlight it here, highlight the next, and then you use the automatic indent to just take the numbers in. Now, so first thing I'm going to do is to just make a little bit of a break between these, so that the following text after each of them becomes normal text rather than heading text. Then what I do is these ones I make them 1. So now you can actually set this format here. Do I really want to indent it? Probably not at the level 2, so I can come to modify. So I can come to modify, and I can modify it here by taking it back. For example, just take it back like that and say okay. So that's one way of modifying. The other way of modifying is just take it back and then make that the template. So I'm going to just make those all 2. So I'll show you how this impacts on the table of contents and how I normally change it to not include level 3. Did I highlight that? I don't think they got. That's 2. And then what I do is these, I make these ones 3. That's too much indented. So I'll show you the other way. You just bring it back. I don't like this because it has so much of a space in here. Might be alright actually, because that's a paragraph spacing which is here. Maybe I'll just reduce it a little bit. I don't want it to be too spaced out from the top. Okay, so I've kept a little bit of space. That's how you add spaces between the numbers as well. And you generally don't use the enter key to create it, but this is just for a demonstration. So like I said, again, there's a lot of training online if you need to learn more on how to format it correctly. I'm just teaching you some techniques here which will be helpful when you prepare financial statements, or generally use Word in general. Alright, so I've got that down. Now I'm going to come here to the table of contents here. A bit of scrolling to be done. I should have just gone with the director's report, and then let's get the table of contents. So I right click it and I can say update, and I'm going to update the entire table, and I've got it here. Now it's not too bad, but that's because it's a smallish one. So but if it was very lengthy and had a lot of policy notes, for example, say running about a page, it doesn't really look that great. You just want to just view the main heading. So how you alter that is here, and if I go to the edit fields, okay, now I just need to go down to table of contents, which is TOC. Okay, table of contents here. Now I got into there. Right now I don't want 3 levels, I just want not 4, I want 2 levels, and I say okay, update it here, and there you go. So that's how you would adjust it. Okay, so that's just another way of adjusting that. So now I've shown you that. I've shown you how to bring a statement in, which is good. I've broken another page. I've shown you how you break that. You can use page breaks if you need to break it down further within a section, and continue with the section. Again, you put the year here, you put it on the top. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you link, do a cross-reference link here. Alright, so the statement starts from the statement of comprehensive income, and then it ends at the company information. Alright, so that's where I want to end it. So how you get the pages automated, again, is another word field feature of Word. So I'm just going to just delete that. So I'm going to put the start one in. So what I want is, I need to put a space there, put it in the middle. What I want is to go to insert, and I want to get a cross-reference. Now I want to cross-reference to it's a header. So there you go, heading. Alright, so I can see all the heading here, right, which is good. Now I don't want the heading text. What I want is the heading page number, and I want the start, which is the statement of financial position. So I say insert, and that's on page 4. Okay, then I want the end here to be the ending page. I'm just going to delete that. I need one space there. Alright, and I want it to end, show me the end page as being where the company information actually is on. This is the last page of just before the director's declaration. I say insert, and I'm inserting a page number again. I'm using the headings to do that. There you go. So it's automated now. So I'm going to just show you, if I were to come here and say, okay, I'm just going to just move this one and say, so I'm going to insert a page break. A quick way to insert a page break is Control Enter, and it inserts a page break. Okay, that's a quick way to enter it, a shortcut key. Now if you were to highlight this and you say update the fields, it's on page 8. So that's how you update it. Okay, so there we go, page 8. So I can save the document again. Okay, so that's, I think, all you need to know on how you go about creating a financial statement. So the functions that I've just shown you, you just keep repeating those functions, and you just keep preparing your statements. If you need to include, for example, your director's report, and you have some text already written up, like I have in this particular template here, which was the original template. It's a data template. If we go to maybe the director's report, and then I get some information. Incidentally, here I actually used the same word field. I think I have used the same word field, so copy that. And if I put it here, So that's the word field. Let me just have a look at what the word. So Alt F9 to look at it again. So it says entity name. Is that the same as the word field that I've used here? Alt F9. Yeah, just so entity name. So it should update. It's the same. So let me just increase that size to maybe a bit more prominent. And Alt F9 again puts it back to its data. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to just save that for the time being. Now the next thing that I just wanted to show you is how it updates it. Okay, so we can see the entity name here. So I'm going to just save this. Now I'm going to go back into here. Now I'm going to go into prepare, and I'm going to go to my word fields, and this is the entity name. So there is, I'm going to put dash changed. So change the entity name. What else can I change to just demonstrate this? Maybe I'll just change some data, for example. What do I do here? So here you have the revenue. Total revenue says 2 million. I'm going to try and increase that with a journal entry as well, so that you can see how it updates it. So I've saved this one, so let me just make sure I save it. What I'm going to do is into the directors report section here, I'm going to just say, bring in here and say profit or loss. Maybe say here, suppose I'm just going to copy a field here which is the profit figure, just to show you how it will link. So that's the results, profit or loss. So I'm just going to copy the 2 years. So this is current year and prior year. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it onto the Word document here. So that's one. Come here, back again. It's going to copy the. Oops. I want to copy the whole field. I just want to copy the. So press F11. Just select it. Maybe easier. Copy. And I'm going to come back here and I'm going to paste it. Now this is the profit for each of the years. I'm just putting that. We want to show you how it updates. Now we just scroll down here. We just take away this page break here because I don't need it to be on another page. Paragraphs, take away that, and there we go. So that's the current year profit and that's the prior year profit. Now I got the figures here as well. You normally would mention that in your statements, current year, prior year statements, and I can probably also go here now. Just show you how you just to copy the graph. It's also similar. You just highlight the entire graph. Press Ctrl C to copy it, and come back here, and you can press Ctrl V and you paste the graph. Okay, so and the graph will also update. So that's also a good thing that I put the graph in, so you can see the graph updating as well. I'm going to save that here. So that what's going to change is if I change the 2015 revenue figure, which is that line. It's coming up to here, so I'm going to make it go up to about somewhere here so you can actually see it change. That'll also change this. Alright, so now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to the mapping area, and I need to pass a journal entry. I need a revenue account, so the revenue accounts are numbers for. So I'm going to say a new journal entry for that entity. There's a couple of journals there already, but I still just going to add a new one, and I'm going to say revenue. Say late revenue, new recorded, just a name. You get a description as well so that you better understand what you did. So revenue account start with 4, so I'm just going to quickly filter it here. I'm just going to pick a revenue account there. So I'm going to say, so I need to select the account. So I'm going to just take that account. See, there's nothing there, so I'm just going to select that. What else can I? So I'm going to just select that and maybe make that, give it maybe $1 million. So that it sort of just stands out, $1 million. And as soon as I just click out of it, you can see it sort of it'll update that as well. Alright, but it also shows you that it's out of balance here because I haven't put it to anywhere else. So I'll probably put this to maybe put it to a debtor. We're hoping to get some money in, so I'm going to just put it into maybe here. So I'm going to select that account and I'm going to say okay, a debit for $1 million. Alright, so I've now entered that and that's created there as well. Alright, so I've done it. All my journals are balancing. I'm good. So close and come out. Now I'm going to update the Word document. Now the Word document is still open here, but that's fine. I'm just going to close all the other Word documents. I just only need that one at this moment to show you how we're updating it. So that is the one which I've just created. Let me just scroll down to make sure. Yes, that is the one. Alright, I'm just focusing on this page. You can see the revenue change in the one at the bottom as well. So here we go. So I'm going to go update. I need to select. So when you press select, it takes you straight into that area, and I know that's the statement, into that particular folder. Say OK. And here's where you can actually check to see the links. I'm going to check the links as well so you can see that. So what it's saying is now all the note numbers are linked. As you can see, linked. The description, it is linked. Okay. The full number and the numbers aren't linked because that I never use these anywhere within to reference. If I had used it, it'll tell me which one's linked. Okay, so close that. Likewise, if I go to update again, if I select a statement and if I say check tables, check the tables and word field links, it'll run through the Word document and it'll give me a report saying, okay, so these aren't linked, these statements aren't linked. So that's why I only brought in the profit and loss, I think. So these are linked. So the profit and loss was linked, and the chart was linked, and I've linked some word fields. I've linked the profit, and I've linked the company name. Okay, so that's all that's linked. Okay, so it gives you a report. You can see what's linked, what isn't linked. But now I'm actually going to go through and just show you the updates. I just wanted to show you how you can always check. So okay, and if I say update, what happens here is it'll run through the process similar to generating the Word document, do all the calculations, and then it'll start to update the Word document. Okay, during this update process, it is recommended that you do not use your Word to do other processing, and it will end the function of actually running. So it ran it and it didn't find any exceptions, no exceptions, so that's good. So okay, and that's the new document. So as you can see, the revenue has gone up by $1 million. If I come to the graph, you can see it's gone up by $1 million, the profits, and the profit has increased by $1 million. If you look at the name has now been changed. Okay, likewise the name is changed here as well. Okay, so as you can see now, you can just go and work on your statement after you've done your template, and then get the figures you want and just update it. So let me just get back to here, see what else did it change here. It changed the profit there, so it changed the revenue. So that's one of the revenue accounts I've selected, so it's going to change that. Likewise, it will change your notes, it will change and update everything to take effect of what was the change. This makes the preparation process very quick, because you can always distribute a Word document by turning on the review function, so you know what changes people do in terms of text that they want to change. Send it to the directors and ask them to just type in whatever changes. Then you can just enter it into your master template and then generate the latest figures if there's been changes to the figures as well. So you can get a number of people collaborating with you in the preparation process. So that's EasyFS Financials and how you go about preparing your financial statements on using the software. I know this has been a lengthy video, but I hope you enjoyed it. If I have missed any aspects during this presentation, you can always email me with any questions, and then I'll cover that in the frequently asked questions section, so that you can get an idea of that. Alright, so that's it. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed the presentation.